Membrane transport proteins act as a door into a cell. They control what molecules get in and out of the cell. Cells continually gain and release different types of molecules. Every cell has a plasma membrane that regulates what comes in and out of the cell. Each plasma membrane has a transport protein specific to that membrane. Transport proteins allow only certain molecules to enter and exit the cell. Every membrane has the same basic phospholipid bilayer structure. Each membrane has a set of membrane proteins that enables the membrane to fulfill its distinctive activities. The type of proteins that are attached to a membrane varies depending on cell type and subcellular location.
The purpose of membrane transportation is to control what enters or leaves the cell membrane. There are three main types of membrane transportation, all with different functions. ATP-powered pumps use the energy gained in hydrolysis to move small molecules across membrane, but against a concentration gradient, meaning it is moving from a low concentration to a high concentration, which is an example of active transport. Its function is to move molecules in or out of the cell. Transport proteins only transport specific molecules depending on the type of channel. They typically perform passive transport, which is moving from a high concentration to a low concentration. Finally, there are also transporters, which move a variety of molecules and ions across the membrane. In transporters, only one ion can be moved at a time.
The structure of the lipid bilayer is nonpolar, causing the inability for polar molecules like carbs, ions, and amino acids to cross into the cell. Without any transport protein's presence, these molecules would face the impossible task of entering to perform their necessary functions in the cell. Furthermore, the structure of the transport proteins determine which molecules they will specify in transporting. For example, a calcium channel can only transport calcium, while other transport proteins, due to their structure, change shape to accommodate the size and type of molecule needed to be transported across the membrane.
ATP pumps move small ions and molecules across the membrane using the energy from ATP hydrolysis. This is called active transport. This is a chemical reaction where ions and small molecules are moved against a concentration. The transport of water and some ions is completed by channel proteins. Water molecules and ions move through this passageway made up of proteins lined through the membrane of the cell. Transporters move ions and molecules through the membrane. Substrate molecules are the only molecules transported through transporter proteins that carry these molecules through the membrane. Transporters also have a lower rate of transport than other proteins.
A specific type of protein channel is an aquaporin. Aquaporin are only able to transport small molecules of water across the membrane. Each of the water molecules pass through this type of channel in a rapid single-file line. The molecules travel with the concentration gradient, meaning it goes from a high to low concentration areas. The top of the channel is positive and only attracts negatively charged ions. Since water is polar, the ion flips so the negative side is what goes down the channel. Aquaporin channels are mainly found in the kidneys and they are utilized to help save water so too much fluid